For the past century, the United States has dominated the world. It has the largest economy, the most powerful military, and the most influential culture. But now China is rising, and rising fast. A few decades ago, China was an underdeveloped nation struggling with poverty. Today, it is an economic and technological powerhouse, challenging America's position. Some experts predict that China will soon overtake the US and become the world's new superpower. Others argue that the US is too deeply rooted in the global system to be replaced. So, who will rule the world in the coming decades? This is not just a competition between two countries, it's a battle of economies, militaries, technology, and global influence. It's a fight between democracy and dictatorship, between an established leader and a rising challenger. Money equals power, and when it comes to the economy, the US is still ahead. But China is closing the gap rapidly. The US economy is worth around $26 trillion, making it the largest in the world. China's economy is around $18 trillion, but it's growing much faster than America's. Experts predict that by 2030, China's economy may surpass that of the US. But does having the biggest economy automatically mean global dominance? Not necessarily. The US dollar dominates the world trade. Around 60% of global reserves are in US dollars, and most international transactions still rely on it. This gives America incredible financial control. China is trying to change this. It's promoting its currency, the yuan, through trade agreements and digital currency initiatives. However, most countries still trust the US dollar more. Another key factor is innovation. Friends, while China is a manufacturing giant, the US leads in technology, AI, and finance. The American economy is driven by industries like Silicon Valley, biotechnology, and space exploration. So, while China might become the biggest economy, America's financial system and innovation still give it the upper hand. Friends, a superpower is not just about money, it's also about military strength. And in this area, the US has a clear advantage. It spends over $1,800 billion per year on defense, more than that of the next 10 countries combined. The US has most advanced fighter jets, nuclear submarines, and missile defense systems. It possesses 11 aircraft carriers, while China has only 3, and it controls over 750 overseas military bases, ensuring dominance in every region of the world. But China is catching up. It now has the largest navy in the world in the terms of ship numbers. It is rapidly increasing its military budget, investing heavily in AI powered weapons, cyber warfare, and space technology. It's expanding its presence in the South China Sea and Taiwan region, raising tensions with the US and its allies. If a war broke out today, the US would likely win due to superior military experience and advanced weapons. However, China is closing the gap quickly. One major weakness for the US is cost. Maintaining global military dominance is incredibly expensive. Meanwhile, China is building its military in a cost effective way, focusing on high tech weapons rather than traditional forces. For now, the US is still the world's strongest military power. But in the future, China could become an equal rival. Friends, let me tell you that whoever leads in technology will lead the future. The US has long been the world's innovation hub. It dominates in areas like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and space exploration. Companies like Google and OpenAI lead the world in AI research. American firms are ahead in developing quantum processors. And when it comes to space, NASA and SpaceX are far ahead of China's space program. But China is catching up fast. In some areas, it has even surpassed the US. It leads in 5G networks and has built some of the world's most powerful supercomputers. Its government is using AI for security, facial recognition, and governance on a scale no other country has attempted. One of the biggest battlegrounds in this tech war is semiconductors. These tiny chips are essential for everything from smartphones to military weapons. The US and Taiwan currently dominate advanced semiconductor production. China, however, is investing billions to develop its own semiconductor industry. Friends, if China overtakes the US in AI and semiconductors, it could reshape the global economy. For now, the US still leads in most high tech industries, but China is investing heavily to take the top spot. A true superpower doesn't just dominate, it influences. And in terms of global influence, the US has held the upper end for decades. It controls major international organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank, and NATO. It has strong global alliances with Europe, Japan, Australia, and South Korea. And American culture, Hollywood, music, and social media dominates worldwide. China, however, is expanding its influence rapidly. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, it has invested billions in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Countries relying on Chinese investments may become politically dependent on Beijing. At the same time, China is pushing to create alternative global institutions that challenge American dominance. However, the world still trusts the US more than China. Many nations worry about China's aggressive expansion and its dictatorship policies. For now, America still has greater global influence, but China is making rapid progress. Friends, the US and China also have completely different political systems. The US is a democracy, it allows free speech, elections, and individual rights, but it also faces deep political divisions. China, on the other hand, is a one party authoritarian state. It is more stable but suppresses personal freedoms. In a crisis, China can act quickly because it doesn't need political approval. The US, however, often struggles with political gridlock and polarization. Which system is better? It depends on perspective. Democracy provides freedom, but authoritarian rule provides stability. However, history shows that democratic nations tend to last longer. Authoritarian states often collapse due to internal instability. If China's people demand more freedoms in the future, its government could face major challenges. So, who will dominate the future? The answer is not simple. The US is still the world's superpower. It leads in military strength, finance, technology, and global influence. However, China is catching up fast. There are a few possible scenarios for the future. China might surpass the US in GDP but struggle to gain global trust. The US might remain the dominant superpower but lose its economic edge. Or perhaps a new world order could emerge where the US and China share power in a multipolar world. One thing is certain, the world is changing. No matter who wins, the rivalry between these two giants will shape the 21st century. The outcome will decide the future of global politics, economics, and technology. So, friends, who do you think will rule the world? Let's discuss in the comments. Thank you for watching.